Hey, what's going on? Ryan here with Intersection Records reviewing Dead & Company, July 7th, on their final tour in Maryland Heights, Missouri, outside of St. Louis. A lot of fun last night. Done some videos recently about Billy quitting the band and reviewed Cornell's show back from May. So going into the show, I know that they've had some good shows on the tour, and this was no exception. It was a lot of fun. Had great seats. Fortunate enough to kind of be in the pit and very close. Thank you, J-Rock, for that. They opened up with Good Times, a Sam Cooke cover. I had never heard them do that before. It was fun. Everybody took turns singing. Bobby and John and Jeff, and it was a good time. It was a great weather. It rained kind of all day. In the 70s, low humidity, nice little breeze going through the amphitheater here, formerly called Riverport, now Hollywood Casino Amphitheater. Then into Big River. So St. Louis, Rivertown. Bobby seems to roll that one out almost every time he comes, following the river down through St. Louis, and people are dancing. It's good. Wasn't expecting Friend of the Devil so early, but eased into Friend of the Devil, and Bobby does that one really well. John's cooking. He's got his headphones on. Jeff's kind of right in front of us. Things are done really well with the sound nowadays at these shows. Just the mix is incredible, and the playing. O'Teal's playing. Jay Lane's on drums. Remember, with Mickey. Everybody's smiling and having a good time. Probably the highlight, though, of the first set was They Love Each Other, and John's playing. I mean, when he wants to turn it on and channel Garcia. It's just fantastic. Kind of that looping bass line and groove. Probably the highlight for me of the first set, but then Black Throated Wind as well. Again, there's a St. Louis reference, and Bobby seems to roll that one out every single time he comes to town. And it's, you have, sometimes you want something else in that place, but got to hear a good Black Throated Wind, and really a nice cowboy set going on here. Into Big Railroad Blues, maybe not my favorite song here, but keeping the cowboy themes alive. And then we start hearing murmurs of Dark Star, and kind of a long intro. Probably could have cooked a little bit harder, but got a nice first verse. Dark Star, and while it's still light outside, which is cool. And that was very long and jammy and spacey, and you weren't sure how much was going to be left, so they just broke into a Johnny B. Good Chuck Berry song, of course, St. Louis again, and they ripped through that. We changed locations to a box in the very middle, right next to the soundboard for this. the second set opener of Eyes of the World was amazing. I've seen, I haven't seen as many shows as a lot of people, but I've seen Bobby about 25 times, and through different incarnations of the band with Jerry Garcia, 7 times, and The Dead and Further and Rat Dog and so forth. This is one of the best Eyes of the World I've ever seen. I've reviewed the Cornell show from May, and was a remarkable version of Eyes in that show. This was that same thing. This was 1973 or 4 or 6 or 7, exactly how you'd want an Eyes of the World. And then you go into the second verse of Dark Star, more fire than the first set version. Eyes into Dark Star, you're in Grateful Dead heaven at this point. But then, I noticed a couple shows ago, they did a Scarlet Begonias Without a Fire in the Mountain. Enter Your Fire in the Mountain. And I can't imagine, again, we're back by the soundboard now. Just incredible seats. So you're like 25 rows center, perfect sound. Again, Eyes, Dark Star, Fire in the Mountain, and it's just, and Oteil's singing it, and he's so cool. He's got some face paint on, some white, like almost like Indian paint. He looks so freaking cool singing that and grooving, and the band's just on fire. And then right as the end, I call out Shakedown Street, boom, right into Shakedown Street, and J-Rock was going, "How did you do that?" I just felt like a Shakedown Street. My daughter Zoe was in the lawn. I knew she wanted that song, and it just felt like we went Eyes, Dark Star, Fire in the Mountain. Why not? Boom, Shakedown. And things are foggy, and and let's just say it was very, very good, very dancey, into a nice long drums in space. The 11 came out of Drums in Space, and that took me by surprise. So we're getting some Live Dead, the famous 1969 live album. We got our Dark Star. Now we're getting the 11, which is famous for its odd time signatures. And it was cool because I wasn't expecting that either. It's a song I'm not as familiar with, but sometimes those are the ones that really kind of stick with you. Speaking of Live Dead 1969, then Death Don't Have No Mercy, which is a Blind Gary Davis song. Maybe we lose a little momentum here from this dream set of Eyes, Dark Star, Fire, Shakedown, Drum Space, the 11, Death Don't Have No Mercy, into I Know You Right, or excuse me, going down the road feeling bad. Excuse me. Who doesn't like a going down the road feeling bad? It was a lot of fun. Again, being selfish, maybe St. Stephen could have happened here, or I don't know, Estimated or something crazy. Took a very, very brief break and came back out, I think, with a song that I wasn't expecting, but was really, really nice and knocking on heaven's door. Obviously, we've lost some rock stars, and we've lost some Grateful Dead members, and some of us have lost family members. Anytime you hear a song like that played, that poignantly at the end of a night, it was a fantastic night. It was completely sold out. I'm going to see them at Wrigley. We'll see you in Chicago. Peace out. Subscribe to my channel. Take care.